As we begin the top of another hour here on MSNBC Sunday, Senator Larry Craig says he is stepping down from his Idaho Senate seat at the end of the month, but the legal battle following his bathroom bust has just begun.
Clearly, my name is important to me, and my family is so very important also. Having said that, to pursue my legal options as I continue to serve Idaho would be an unwanted and unfair distraction of my job and for my Senate colleagues.
The senator pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge last month following his June arrest in a Minneapolis airport bathroom, this by an undercover police officer. So what legal options does Larry Craig have at this point? Let's ask that of Jeffrey Steinberger, celebrity criminal defense attorney. Jeffrey, good morning to you. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Alex.
Well, we know that Senator Craig says he has hired Washington lawyer Billy Martin to pursue his legal options to help clear his name. Now, this is the same lawyer that represented Atlanta Falcons quarterback Michael Vick in his dogfighting case. So I'm curious, what legal option do you see Larry Craig as having at this point?
Well, you know, Alex, there's no do-overs in the criminal justice system. That's it. There's no do-overs at all. Except there's one little point here, and I don't know that he needs all that firepower. I don't think that he needs that. I think that it's a disturbing the peace. When you really come down to it, it ended up to be a disturbing the peace misdemeanor, and he really needs local counsel in there. And the fact that he mailed it in may be something that he may get over with, and he may get some kind of diversion program. But all that firepower to come into Minnesota, I don't think it's going to play in that courtroom. It may happen, but I don't think it's going to happen in this particular case.
Yeah, but in fact, Jeffrey, the senator pleaded guilty to the misdemeanor charge. This is, of course, after the arrest in the men's room sex sting operation. So what would he have to do to reverse that plea, if that's even possible at this point? Is it?
Well, it's really unlikely. Alex, the only way to get that overturned is for manifest injustice. It means that he didn't read the sheet. He didn't know what was going on. He had no idea what was happening. I mean, this is a senator of the United States Senate. I mean, he does this stuff all the time. He does inquiries. He does, prosecutions. He knows the legalities of what confessions are and what admissions are and the responsibility of what he takes under the law. And when he read that sheet and he signed, it says, I, under advice of attorney and knowingly, commit myself to pleading guilty to this charge. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he should have known that if he was going to do that and he wanted a do-over in this, he shouldn't have done it in the first place.
So what is all this? Is this just show? Him hiring another attorney and saying, I'm going to go forward legally?
Well, you know what? It's a bunch of smoke and mirrors, and it's a bunch of political stuff, and I'm not your political analyst. I can only tell you the legalities of this stuff. And to come out to take out a disturbing the peace sign on this, it's going to be a hard fight, and it's going to be one that's going to go down with a lot of publicity, a lot of skin, betting a lot of airtime, and a lot of graves unburied again, that I don't think he really wants to go to that place.
Hey, Jeffrey, I'm curious, do you think, as a defense attorney, is there any level of entrapment here, or is this sort of a standard police sexting operation?
Entrapment is real hard. It had to show that he had the propensity to do that kind of thing, that he didn't have the propensity to do that kind of thing. And, Senator Larry Bird had some previous record in this arena. So, being entrapment is really a misnomer for this kind of sting operation. They've got it down to a science. They've done it before. They know exactly what they're doing. They've had this tested by appellate courts and the Supreme Court. This is not a sting operation that's going to go weary and go bad on appeal.
If you were representing Larry Craig, what advice would you be giving him right now?
I would tell Larry Craig to keep it down, keep it quiet, and to leave it alone. You've already done the damage. You don't want any more publicity on this thing. It's unlikely that anything is going to happen if you go back to that court in Minnesota to have it overturned, especially with the press. It's unlikely that any judge is going to give you any relief here. So just leave it alone. Let sleeping dogs lie. And especially when it comes to crimes of sex and morals and values, you don't want to bring that thing up, and you don't want to bring this publicity up again. Look at the storm it's created already. Look at what happened in just the last week. I mean, he got hit by a truck. I mean, what are we talking about here? This guy doesn't need any more of this nonsense in his life. Let it alone. Leave it alone. It's over. Done. Finished. End it at some point in time. Go on with your life.
Jeffrey Steinberger, thanks for joining us. It is early out there, and you're up. You've had your coffee. Thanks so much for coming prepared, man. Appreciate it. All right, we'll see you in a bit.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Larry Craig says he's stepping down from his Idaho Senate seat at the end of this month, but the legal battle following his bathroom bust has just begun.
Clearly, my name is important to me, and my family is so very important also. Having said that, to pursue my legal options as I continue to serve Idaho would be an unwanted and unfair distraction of my job and for my Senate colleagues.
The senator pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge last month following his June arrest in a Minneapolis airport bathroom by an undercover police officer. So what legal options does Larry Craig have at this point? Let's ask that of Jeffrey Steinberger, celebrity criminal defense attorney. Jeffrey, you heard it. He said that he is considering, filing charges, or at least fighting these charges, rather. He's hired the Washington lawyer Billy Martin to pursue his legal options to try and clear this name. We should make a point. This is the same gentleman who represented Michael Vick of the Atlanta Falcons, the quarterback in his dogfighting case. So legal options here, what do you see them as being at this point?
Alex, yes, wide stance Larry. I don't really think he's got many legal options that he has in Minnesota, and I don't really know that he needs the firepower of Michael Vick's attorney. He needs a good old Minnesota kind of guy, good old Minnesota kind of lawyer to come in there. But the problem here is, does he want to raise all those ghosts? Does he want to raise all those demons? He did this in the Senate and he got hit by a truck. I mean, they just annihilated him. They just blew him away. Does he want to go through that in his life again? This guy has had enough dealings in this kind of machinations that would last a lifetime. Does he want to go in for this little misdemeanor, have it set aside, and the likelihood of having it set aside is real unlikely? I mean,
is this the kind of thing that you think, conceivably, if there are hearings, more things like that, more information can come out about his past, right? Is that something you got to consider?
Oh, Alex, there could be a whole litany of things that would come out. Besides that, the press isn't going to leave him alone. If this happens anywhere in his near future, the press is going to be all over it, and every I and every T has to be dotted. This is not the situation where you want to redo the devil again. You don't want to get into this thing again.
Okay, what about the possibility of entrapment? Is there anything, as a defense attorney, were you to be representing Mr. Craig, would there be anything you could go down that road for entrapment in regards to the police sex sting?
I got to tell you, Alex, in these sex sting acts, they've been tested over and over again. The police are real professional in the way they handle these things. It's real difficult to get them set aside by any appellate court. These sting set actions have been in every state, in every city, and they go on regularly to protect the citizens. And the appellate court has heard it. The Supreme Court has heard it. Everybody has heard it. And it's not entrapment. It never has been entrapment. And they've refined it to a place where it now holds up in basically every court in the land.
Okay, Larry Craig has also hired a lawyer to represent him before a Senate ethics committee that investigates his actions. He's already been stripped of his committee assignments. So what do you see happening with an ethics committee investigation in this case?
Well, I don't know what the purpose is. He's out. He's over. He's finished. It's done. Let living dogs die, just let it end already, Larry. Let it end. Let it be over. Go home, live your life, and do what you have to do. But a Senate Ethics Committee, he's resigned. His crime is finished. Just leave the thing alone so that you can go on with your life and live whatever life you're living, and make sure that you get your own demons taken care of.
Okay, well, Jeffrey Steinberger, we're going to let you go home now for entirely different reasons. And thanks for doing a great job for us this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate being here.